to the Quality of Life podcast. My name is Erin Olson, and I am a businesswoman and mother who has been studying personal growth for over 15 years. I've tried almost all of the habits and hacks out there. My goal is to use my real-life experience to show you which tricks and habits make the biggest changes to your quality of life with the least amount of time and energy on your part. We will cover everything from habits to hacks, fitness to family, and everything in between. Now, let's dive on into today's topic. Hey guys, welcome back to the Quality of Life podcast. This is episode number 20. Pardon me while I celebrate, because honestly, I didn't know if I was going to be... No, I take it back. I know I was going to be able to stick it out. I didn't know if I was going to be able to think of enough things to talk about. Someday, hopefully, I will be able to start interviewing people who have made it, done it, have great information, and then I won't have to think of all of the content all by myself. When I decided to do this podcast, I asked myself what I wanted to accomplish by doing it. And to be honest, at first, it was because I wanted to have a platform to continue to help those that I used to work with. I wanted to stay relevant as well. But as I've started to really dig into it, this podcast has become all about helping people who feel stuck, like I have felt so many times. And I think that I am achieving that with every episode that I record. You see, I have felt stuck so many times. Stuck in dead-end jobs, stuck in relationship with friends and family that weren't healthy, stuck in a body that was also not healthy, stuck in the mediocre life that some think is normal. Well, the way that I've climbed out of those quicksand traps has been to really focus on what it would look like if I won my way to the next level. Just like The Legend of Zelda, okay? Or Super Mario Brothers, I am going to date myself. But honestly, if you think of life kind of like a video game, like an old school video game where there's levels, where you're at right now is just one of the hundreds of levels. And honestly, I just really wanted to get to the next level so that certain things didn't press on me quite so hard. It felt heavy. I know we've covered dream boards and written our 100 dreams down. And if you haven't, please check out episodes number 7 and 8 to learn how to dream again. Well, now that you know what you want and what you dream about, now let's get to creating what winning looks like for you. I want you to look over everything. I want you to see if there are any common themes. Are there certain areas that seem to need the most help or that have the most things in it? When you go back and look at your 100 dreams, the pages that have the most entries filled out are going to be clues into things that matter the most to you. Another thing to think about is, are some of those dreams really vague? Like, I want to get fit, I want to get healthy, I want to be rich, I want to have more time. Well, let's work on specifics. Look at that goal sheet from episode number 10, How to Create Crushable Goals. And if you haven't, check out the link in the show notes or go to theerinolson.com/podcast to download it now. How much money is rich? How do you measure healthy or fit? What is the better job that you want? These are some of the questions you've really got to think about to get clear so that you can actually see the target you're going to aim at. Zig Ziglar said, you can't hit a target that you can't see. So we really have to get clear on what the target we're aiming at is. If you've never heard of Zig Ziglar, he actually is a salesman that has brought up and trained more salespeople than anybody I've ever known. He's kind of called the founder of positive thinking, but not in the way that you would assume. If you haven't checked him out, I'm going to put the link to his website in the show notes. And I believe it's zigziglar.com. And his legacy, his family is keeping up with all of the things that he started way back when. Another thing that he had said was, you were born to win. But to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win. So, let's plan to win. So to paint that picture of the target that you're going to try to achieve as a winner, I'd like to walk you through an exercise to figure out what your version of winning looks like. You're going to need a couple sheets of blank paper and a pen or pencil, and you're going to need a quiet 10 minutes and an open mind. This is sometimes called a guided visualization. And without getting all woo-woo on you, I just want you to know that this single exercise really changed my ability to see where I was going and what winning looked like. All right, so you need an open mind. That was one of the requirements. If you are driving, this is probably not the best time to do this, but you can listen along and at least get those creative juices flowing. And come back to this at a time when you can actually dedicate the 10 minutes to focusing on writing everything down and being able to close your eyes, okay? I want you to take 3 deep breaths, and I want you to close your eyes. Breathe in. Hold it and breathe out. Breathe in. Hold it and breathe out. Breathe in. Hold it and breathe out. Now, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to imagine yourself in 3 years. Not 10, not 1, 3 years. If every opportunity was given to you in perfect order and things turned out exactly the way you wanted them to, all of the resources you needed were available to achieve everything that you set out to do. Think about it. Think about how grateful you are, how happy you are. Think about all that you were able to accomplish over the last 3 years. Step into you 3 years from now and really feel it. Breathe in deeply, the satisfaction of knowing you are a winner. Smile, and with your eyes closed, I want you to examine every inch of your life. Step into that moment just for a minute and really feel what it feels like to be there 3 years from now. What does that future you 3 years from now look like? How do they act? Who do they hang out with? What kind of clothes are they wearing? What do they eat for dinner? Were they hanging out with friends, spouses, family, or children? What do they do for work? How about for fun? What kind of hobbies do they have? Are they competing in anything? Have they made any huge goals? Do they have any pets? Let your mind just go crazy with all of the details. Now, I want you to open your eyes and I want you to start writing right now. Write down how you looked. Specific outfits, the style, the size. Were your teeth super white and straight when you smiled? Were you tan? How did you feel? Were you full of energy? Did you feel strong? Did you feel empowered? How about happy? Did you feel content? Or just a sense of joy? Did you have thoughts of pride, maybe some of the achievements that you've made over the last 3 years? I want you to keep writing. What have you accomplished? Do you have a new career? Where are you in your career? Did you achieve any of your goals that you set out to try to hit? How about relationships? Keep writing. What does your schedule look like? How much or how little do you work? Like, how many times a week do you work? How many hours do you work for each of those times? How about the vacations that you've taken in the last 3 years? The time spent with family or friends? Your hobbies, like we talked about. What about your wealth? I know that this is huge for me and for a lot of people. Do you have a new home or new homes? How about cars, trucks? Do you have horses, watches? What are some of the things that you have acquired over the last 3 years? How does it feel? No, not like, yeah, it feels good. No, how does it really feel? to have life go so perfectly for the last 3 years? Write it down. If you need to pause this, go ahead and pause it while you continue to write. I urge you to just keep writing and get really into the things that you smelled, you tasted, the way you felt, the things you touched. Touch the new boat that you have or the trophy that you won competing. I really want you to get really specific about it, all right? And pause this if you need to, and then come back to me when you're done. Now that you have written all of this down, I'm going to tell you why. Because Dominican University found in a study that people who wrote down this type of stuff were 42% more likely to see them come true. 42%! How badly do you want it to come true? Is it worth 10 minutes of writing to make it 42% more likely to come true? Think about that for a second. If you didn't write down this little exercise, no matter how woo-woo and touchy-feely it seemed, you are 58% less likely to achieve the things that you thought about. So how does it feel? I mean, do you have hope now? Do you feel excited? Man, when I did this the first time, I was so excited to get out there and start trying to achieve it. So what I did next was really the game changer, and I will post it on social media this week just so you guys can see that this is real and true. Back in the day, I did a picture on a yellow piece of a legal padded notebook that showed what winning looked like in my business and my life. So I'm going to post it on there, and I hope you guys think it's funny because it really is chicken scratch, but honestly, without that diagram, I had no idea how to really look at what I wanted. So the next step is to download the diagram that I've made for you. What does winning look like from theerinolson.com or from the show notes? And I want you to fill in the bubbles with the things that matter the most out of that visualization we just did. Then I want you to make a ton of copies, okay? I know we've had you print out all kinds of stuff over the past 20 weeks, but I want you to really print this out and put it where you're going to see it. Look at it multiple times a day. You can even take a picture and put it on your lock screen of your phone so that every time that you pick up your phone, you'll see what winning looks like every time you touch it. I've even made a wallpaper for your phone to put on your lock screen on the website as well, theerinolson.com/podcast. So why do I think this is so important? Well, the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. That's in Proverbs 29, verse 18. But it also says in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets a prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. It's kind of written right out there that we are to achieve a goal. We are to achieve the prize. And I think the prize is winning. If you're going to try to make a better life or be or do more, how will you know if you get there or even close? This diagram is going to give you a target to look at multiple times a day. And this is what's going to trigger your RAS, your reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is part of the brain that filters information and highlights information that is important to you. You know, with all of the bits, something like millions and millions of information comes into your brain every day. From your situation around you, from things that you're thinking about, from the color of the sky to whether or not you're thirsty. And so this part of your brain actually filters that information to only let you notice the things that are important to you. So when you vividly imagine your dreams multiple times a day, your RAS will start to seek out opportunities, resources, and information relative to your goals. This is going to help you to notice and capitalize on opportunities that you might otherwise miss had you not thought often about what it is you really want or what winning looks like. So I want you to keep this picture in front of you, and you'll be able to aim for the dream. So now we know that life isn't perfect, but even if you achieved 10% of what winning looks like in your 3-year visualization, would you be better off? All right. I'm guessing you all know what this week's homework is. Woohoo! Do the visualization that I just walked you through and print and fill out the what winning looks like diagram and paste it everywhere, including your wallpaper or lock screen on your phone. And let's get to winning. Well, I am so excited to give you an actual target to aim for. And we've all heard that saying, if you aim for the moon, you're going to end up somewhere among the stars. So I hope this helps you, and I'm just so excited. I hope you guys all go and start winning at life, and let me know if this helped you. And if it did, could you share it with a few people? Because then we can all increase our quality of life. And not to quote Lil Nas X in the song Industry Baby, but, and this one is for the champions. Oh, yeah. So if you haven't heard that song, it's awesome. I'll tag that in the notes as well. And I would have put it on here, but copyright infringement is like a real thing. So let's get to winning, you guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Be sure to check us out on the Quality of Life podcast, Facebook and Instagram pages, and our website, theerinolson.com, for downloads and more information. That is TheErinolson.com. Stay up to date by joining our email newsletter. Together, we can improve all of our quality of life.